Good morning, everyone. It's Vera Moore with True Beginnings of Las Vegas, where we offer a true beginning to justice involved women and their families by assisting them with overcoming barriers that prevent them from reclaiming their rightful place in American society. Yes, their rightful place. Many people say that our work is amazing, and rightfully so. But don't you think it's the absolute minimum that you can do for someone to offer refuge or opportunity to those of us that society has discarded? That's how I feel. So, some people ask me, how did all this get started? So, I'm here to tell you a story. When I was 9 years old, I found myself handcuffed and beat by a cop. I will never forget that day where I lay on the floor with my right wrist handcuffed to my left ankle, crying, beat, broken, looking up at my abuser. I will never forget how the tears flowed. I'll never forget the pain that I withstood. And I thought, all of this over $5. That experience was so traumatic that it stayed with me through an adult. I suffered with anxiety whenever the police were within my sight. I couldn't breathe. I fought the urge to run, to speed, to get away at any cost, even if I wasn't doing anything wrong. The trauma led to substance abuse, homelessness, and incarceration. Over 90% of the women that we service through True Beginnings have suffered some sort of sexual or physical abuse that carries with them and leads them to incarceration. One day as an adult, I woke up in solitary confinement after receiving my fifth resisting arrest. You see, I got pulled over, and as they asked me to step out of the vehicle, I felt the need to flee. It's called fight or flight. I could not contain my emotions on this day that I woke up. I could not get a grasp on my mind. I shouted, I screamed, I banged on the walls and the metal door. I had been broken. My mind shattered into small pieces, being in this small cell over something that was so frivolous. I was recovering from physical abuse. I had just been tased, pepper sprayed, placed in a chokehold, punched over and over, and then kicked by the police as I lay on the ground, handcuffed on my stomach. And yet here I was in solitary confinement, me, not them. My crime? Driving under suspended license. My ruckus was so loud at the jail that the officer pled with me to quiet down while she, a black woman, got me in to see the psych. It was then that I shared my childhood trauma with someone for the first time. It was then that I received a diagnosis of PTSD and being bipolar. What many of us don't understand is that this is a long history that has been threaded through our DNA. Regardless of the trauma that we withstand within as children, some of this carries with us from our ancestors. It was then that I began to mend, understanding that there was a reason that I felt the way that I did, a reason that I had turned to drugs, that it was deeper than just what had happened to my mom and then what happened to me. Every opportunity in my life has been afforded me by a woman, and that is why True Beginnings formed Divinity House, a place for formerly incarcerated women to call home while they heal, search for their voice, their divine purpose, and aim to build legacies for their families in spite of their previous lives. I'm reaching out to you today for your service and your understanding, and even, yes, donations. The world is in an uproar. There are pandemics, quarantine, brutality, all of these forms of oppression. The women of Divinity House need you. Our program needs you. We have been fighting this war now turned revolution since 2013 with no government funding because we offer opportunity without strings attached. We offer refuge when the government refuses safety. We offer support to those that don't have any. But it takes each of us, all of you, to create change. Just a few dollars, whatever you can afford, is much appreciated. Go to our website, subscribe. As we aim to fulfill our mission of offering justice involved women assistance, we need you to help us build bridges, fight for social change, and dismantle systemic obstacles that truly affect us all and perpetuate negative results within the environments that our children are being raised. I'm reaching out to you today for your help in hopes that you can find something in your heart that will trigger you to be of assistance to join this movement, the revelation. Thank you.